All right, Saagar, what's on your radar?
Well, former Vice President Joe Biden did the unthinkable yesterday. He acted like more of a nationalist than President Donald Trump has in the last several months of his presidency. Biden unveiled a new middle-class economic plan in Scranton, Pennsylvania yesterday, promising to deliver prosperity to the middle class, part of which was a $700 billion Buy American plan to revitalize American industry and American manufacturing. Now, you all know I don't like Joe Biden. I think he's a liar, but I will admit when he is a good politician, and this is a stroke of genius. For months, Biden has outpolled Trump on nearly every single category that matters, except one, on handling of the economy. Despite Trump's many missteps, he has maintained a deep trust with the American people on economic issues that are stretching back to 2016 when he ran against TPP, against the economic system, and he promised to rebuild cities like Detroit after decades of American cash building up skyscrapers in Beijing. What is particularly galling about Biden's fake pledge to rebuild American manufacturing is that Donald Trump has a very similar order sitting in the White House right now, and he's the president of the United States with actual power to do something about it. The order, which was crafted by Peter Navarro, who is one of the only White House officials with a clue of why Trump won in the first place, has been hindered by Secretary of the Treasury Steve Mnuchin and White House advisor Jared Kushner because of corporate concerns and alleged fear of Chinese retaliation. The juxtaposition of neoliberal Joe Biden, who is in many ways the architect of many of the trade deals that destroyed American manufacturing over the last 40 years, saying that we need to do more to save it now, and the sitting president of the United States, who won the White House with a promise to rebuild American manufacturing, but not actually doing all that much about it, is just too much to bear for somebody like myself. The best part is it would be so easy for a competent campaign to destroy Joe Biden on this issue. In 1993, in a speech on the Senate floor before voting for NAFTA, Biden said, quote, "With our vote for NAFTA, we take the first step towards creating more jobs in an expanding world market." Before he said that, he promised the car manufacturer Chrysler would expect it to sell more cars in Mexico, made his very own Delaware home state factory richer. Now it turns out that factory closed in 2007, the same year he publicly said that NAFTA created more jobs than it lost. Now, on the issue of China, it's worse. Biden supported normalizing trade relations with China in 2000, which, along with joining the World Trade Organization, put them on the path to economic destruction of our middle class today. Biden said at the time, "The growing prosperity for the Chinese people, in turn, has put China on a path toward ever greater political and economic freedom." Biden fell for the neoliberal dream that normalizing trade relations with China, making them richer, would make them more democratic. Now, turn on your TV, take a look at what is going on right now in Hong Kong, and see how that worked out. Here's the thing. You don't even need to go after him for that past record. You can even focus on what he's doing right now. Hidden within his so-called Buy American plan, Biden said the quiet part out loud, and it gave the whole game away. A Biden advisor told the Wall Street Journal it would not be, quote, be a priority to re-enter trade agreements like TPP before fixing the American economy. But in no way would he rule it out. An economic nationalist campaign could point out his disastrous trade record, his false promise to American workers for decades, and his current wrong stance on TPP. But the root of the matter is that Trump himself really doesn't seem to care about any of this, and he has allowed the wrong Steve to be in charge of his economic policy. In 2016, Trump had Steve Bannon, who many people hate, but is no fool. Of Biden's Buy American executive order, he told the Washington Post it was smart, right out of the Trump 2016 playbook, and that the campaign has been, quote, caught flat-footed by the measure. Today, he's not listening to that guy who actually got him into the White House. No, he's listening to professional wrong person Stephen Moore, who said of Biden's plan, quote, "Biden's plan is a radical plan of wealth distribution, thrust America into a second Great Depression that would hurt the poor